Well, hello, my name is Gareth Jones, and this is Craig Saravalo. We are Sleep In Cinema, an internet radio show on Substrate Radio. You can hear us live on Saturday mornings from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. Central Standard Time, and then we're rebroadcast on WBHM The Hub 106.1 terrestrial radio on Saturdays at 11 a.m. and Sundays at 2 p.m. All those are Central Standard Time. But this is part of a series of interviews that we're doing for the Sidewalk Film Festival 2026, and we're super excited to be talking to the director of Warriors, which will be the Alabama Spotlight film on August 24th. It'll play twice that night at 8 and 8:30 down at the Sidewalk Cinema, and then it will be at First Church on Saturday morning. So you got three times to see it, and you will want to see this film because this director, Leland Hall, has done a masterful job telling the story of what football means in Mobile and really in the South. It's incredible. So thank you so much for joining us, Leland.
Man, happy to be here. Thanks for having me, guys. I'm really excited to, talk about the film and the festival.
Awesome. Well, we like to start it off by asking the filmmakers really how they came to this story, and I'm really curious in this case how you got to know these folks and decided that you would be able to tell this story.
Yeah, so fun fact, I was on the team. I was on the
I
team. I
I read
played
that. Yeah.
I
Yeah,
played
yeah.
for Davidson in that stretch of time from I guess we were there from '07 to 2010. But it's funny because like a lot of the guys on our team I grew up with. So we just grew up playing against each other, playing with each other. Jimmy and Jaquaski, I met Jaquaski in sixth grade. We both went to
Wow.
Phillips Middle School in Mobile, and then me and Jimmy, we met freshman year, high school. Some of the other guys like the McNeils, I played Pee Wee with them at Mills Park in Mobile. So, just a lot of characters in the story. Like I actually just grew up with the my whole life. And so, it's been a relationship, that our entire life that, we've been friends forever. But I think we really got the idea for the film to do a film. I think probably when Jaquaski ended up getting drafted to the 49ers. Like
Right.
when that happened in like 2015, 2016, we were like, okay, wow, this could be like the next Friday Night Lights, Hoop Dreams kind of story. And then it really became crystallized probably when I went to USC Film School in LA. And I would go up to the Bay just to go see games and catch up with the guys, but they would also come down to LA. And then as I started matriculating through the program and getting my feet wet in Hollywood, pretty much, we were like, okay, let's try to make it happen. But I
Yeah.
think the timing was always a question for all of us because they were kind of like at that point they were like at the beginning, middle of their careers. I was still trying to figure out my career, and so when in 2022, that's when Jaquaski retired. Jimmy was going on like going in like year 10 around that time, 2022, 2023. And so I was like, okay, this might be the perfect time to do this film. The writer's strike was just happening
Oh yeah.
out in LA and everything like that. So, a lot of just productions and work was just kind of about to shut down as well. So it was a great pivot for me to step out on just be an independent artist and to create a film that we've been wanting to do for a long time. So that's kind of how it came to be, and those guys, they stepped up as EPs and really helped us bring the vision to life. But it was a community effort, I would say. Like when I would hit everybody up, even the coaches and things like that, everybody was just excited to be a part of, and it really became a community thing when I went back home to film it. So it was great.
Yeah, that comes through. I mean, now
Hmm.
that you say that, and I did read that in the press kit, that you know to have that access to all the folks, all the characters in this story. Now to know
Yeah,
that you're just as much in that story as they are,
yeah,
it probably got them to tell the story in a different way that some from the out, an
oh for
outsider, just
sure,
someone coming in to interview them, would not have gotten that information from them. So now knowing
for
that,
sure.
it makes perfect sense. The coach,
Yeah,
he seems a special guy who who has a certain way of coaching, and that came with
yeah,
but you made him lovable. You made him like really
yeah,
somebody that you'd want to talk to. Pops was
yeah,
amazing. That was an
yeah.
incredible,
Oh yeah,
to have that relationship with them. Can you talk about you
yeah.
know revisiting all these folks and like getting them on board to do the project?
Yeah, man, that part was interesting. It was a lot of phone calls, and I think with so I'll start with Pops. Pops really like even though he's like really was this historical legend, this
Yeah.
always around. He would like still be coaching when we were in high school. He was out there like 70 years old, still running routes on people and teaching people how to run routes.
That's
He was like in
crazy.
that
That's
great shape
amazing.
at that age. And for context, I guess for people who haven't seen the movie yet, Clifton McNeil, he was NFL star in the 60s, born and raised in Mobile, won a championship with the Browns with Jim Brown in 1964, and he's just a guy that's just like at the park with his grandkids and, at practice, like he's,
That's that's
living
crazy.
legend walking around.
Love.
But he doesn't really do interviews like that. Like people have reached
Right.
out to him to do different interviews, and people have always told him to, write a book. He is one of those mobile, kind of legendary figures, sports figures. He just never did it. But because of our relationship and we're pretty much family, he was like, "Yeah, whatever you need, I
Yeah.
got you." And I'm so glad that we made it happen because he ended up passing away
That's
earlier this year in like
we saw that.
January.
Yeah.
So it
What a
was
beautiful
divine
tribute to
timing
him,
for
though.
sure,
I mean,
for
what a gift
sure.
you've given his family
Yeah,
to have this.
man, to get his legacy on film is
Yeah.
is amazing. And with the coaches, they were excited about it too. And I think they knew that like since I was a part of the team, like for one, they know me, and I think they trusted me to show their perspective objectively and fairly, and that's what I did. It was all respect, all transparent, and I think they actually had a good time, doing it, man. So
Oh,
so
I
so
think so
shout out to
too.
them
Everybody
as
seemed to
well.
have a great
Yeah,
time. Yeah.
yeah.
It seemed like
Everybody
old
was
friends just
cool.
hanging out,
Exactly,
and
exactly. It
it
was
brought
like
us
no
into
time
that
is lost.
world.
Right.
You gave us the gift of like letting us experience that. But
Hmm.
in Birmingham and Alabama,
Yep.
football is king. It's just that is
Oh, for
just the way of
sure.
life. And you
Yep.
did reference Hoop Dreams. You did reference Friday Night Lights,
Hmm.
and I'm gonna. I mean, I know that I'm just talking to you now, but I would put this in there. I put this
Man,
among
that's
those
that's
in terms
love.
of
Man, appreciate that.
telling a story and picking out these
Hmm.
characters that you really want to see succeed and watch them. Shank, man, that guy. I mean, all
Big
of it is
Shaq,
just
man.
you've given us all of these folks, these heroes to root for, and that's just
Yeah.
obviously it's your life, but it's also just smart storytelling and filmmaking.
Hmm.
So, did you set
Man.
off to write is documentary your field of interest, or was this something you wanted to make when you went to film school?
I think it's both. I'm a big fan of sports documentaries, as
Yeah.
you can see, like 30 for 30s,
Oh yeah.
all that. That's one of my jams. I'm really more of a scripted storyteller, and I was
Okay.
kind of focused more on scripted when I went to film school. But I would always kind of drift back to making sports documentaries. Like it's a funny story. I was taking like a documentary prep class at SC when I was going there, and T. Martin, the quarterback from Mobile, won a natty at Tennessee. He was the offensive coordinator at USC at that time. So I did
Hmm.
like a little mini doc on him while I was there. So I've always seemed to find myself going back to doing sports documentaries, and I'm a fan of that genre in that world. So I think I'll always have a place in my toolkit for doing like sports docs. Like
Yeah.
I love sports documentaries. So yeah, that's definitely part of my bread and butter for
I love
sure.
that. Well, it
Yeah,
shows because it's a
yeah.
30 to 30. That's a great reference, man.
Hmm.
Yeah, I could
Like you
see
think
that.
about those films like The Best That Never Was with like Marcus Dupree and
Wait, what's the
stories
what's the
like
last
that. It's
dance?
like
Is that the Jordan one?
last Last Dance and the
Last
Jordan one.
dance.
So
My
it's
God.
like
Yeah.
they're
But all
they're
of this,
they're
but
they're
your film
riveting.
comes through in that rhythm,
Hmm.
in that and telling those stories. So
Man,
well
I
done,
appreciate
Gareth.
that.
I'm sorry.
Oh
Yes,
no,
sir.
no, no. I was just gonna say. I mean, I'm not from the South. I've lived here for
Hmm.
20 years. I'm really originally from Utah, and coming
Wow.
to the South, I had heard what football meant here, but until I got here, I
Yeah.
Hmm.
really did not understand. Really, until I moved to Alabama, and
Yeah.
every interview they asked me, Roll Tide or War Eagle, and
Hmm.
I had to figure
You
out what
gotta
Uh,
choose.
what that
You
meant.
gotta choose at an early age. I
Oh
remember
yeah,
kindergarten. They making you choose like which one, which one.
yeah. You
absolutely.
better make a choice.
It's
Right.
such a religion here, and it's so much part of the community. And so, but what I love about your film is it's yes, it has this universal story that you're telling that
Hmm.
anyone someone like me can connect with and understand. But it also is so much about Mobile and
Yeah.
that putting
Hmm.
that spotlight
Yeah.
on Mobile and its role in football, but also beyond that. With the civil rights movement, there's
Hmm.
so many things that Mobile it
Yeah.
really does not get as much attention as Birmingham, for example, gets. So,
It doesn't.
did you
Yeah.
go into this also thinking like, okay, I really want to tell Mobile's story? Yes, I want to tell this football story, but I also want to tell what Mobile is like.
For sure. I definitely want to showcase, Mobile from the sports angle, but also an historical angle. But it did kind of like thing as well. Like as I was going through different archives and researching and things like that. That's kind of how I found the Davidson like integration story. Like I was looking for just Mobile archival footage, just like old Mobile, see what it looks like, and put that in
Yeah.
there. And then I ran across this national news story about the busing, and Davidson was right there. I was
Yeah.
like,
And that
wow.
was a
So
crazy
you know,
ad to have that to go,
yeah,
oh,
man.
there's a bigger
It
story
was.
going on here.
Exactly. And then
Yeah.
I ended up getting connected with Miss Hazel Fournier, who's still living. Man, I think she might be 100 years old
Man,
now, but still
she's
sharp.
yeah.
Still sharp, man. So she was one of the, school board members that kind of led the charge in integrating the Mobile County Public Schools. So just to get her, in the movie, um, it was amazing. Yeah, it was amazing. Just everything kind of started falling into place. As I kept digging deeper and deeper and deeper, things just started falling more and more into place. So yeah,
I was
man,
going to
it
ask
was great.
too, with all that research that you did and all
Hmm.
this combination of, of video interviews that already exist with people's home
Right.
video, putting all that
Hmm.
together, I mean, you must have had hundreds of hours to go
Oh
through.
yes.
So I
Yes.
imagine that editing process was quite a challenge. Could you walk us through what that
Yes.
was like?
It was a marathon. I think I even underestimated the editing process. Like, because when you're shooting it, especially with documentary, you just letting the camera roll, man. Just
Right.
letting the
Yeah.
camera
Yeah.
roll, seeing what we can get, seeing what comes through. And man, as we were filming during our principal block, we started running out of car space, started running out of drives. So we had to
Oh,
order more
sure.
drives. I was like, okay, yeah, we're getting a lot of stuff. And then just like, I got to give a big shout out to our editor, Seamus Finnegan. He's one of my classmates at USC. He's actually from San Francisco. So he was a big 49ers fan. So like
Oh, nice.
when we met, the first thing we talked about was the 49ers. And so to see all these years later, he's the editor on this film. That was a full circle moment in itself. And he was a college quarterback as well. So he knows the game and he understands like the recruiting process and things like that. So he was a perfect collaborator for this. But man, me and him would just be in the lab for a couple years, like just breaking it down. And then also just trying to figure out how to tell the story linearly, non-linearly. We were jumping around a lot, so we do a lot of revisions and cuts on just how to tell the story in a compelling way, but also in a way that the pace keeps going as well. So
Yeah.
it doesn't kind of lag because we had to like play a little Tetris, like get on the whiteboard and
Yeah.
move things around. Okay, let's put this here, let's put this here, because we're jumping around a lot. We're going to people's backstories. We're also following the season and we're also doing NFL stuff. So it's a lot of different elements working at the same time. But
And
I think,
that's
go
where the
for it. Yeah.
mastery was in the edit,
Yeah.
because I feel like
Yeah.
you probably found it in the
Hmm.
edit, and you probably had to,
We
this is the way
did.
this story is going to go. And the way
Right.
that you introduced all of this cast of characters, and
Hmm.
so you tie it up so well at the end. Like everybody got
Respect.
their arc, and everybody got
Yeah.
to, you got to know what's going on with everybody at the end.
Hmm.
I was like, how do you
Hmm.
do, like, how am I going to keep up with all these folks? And you did. And it's
Yeah.
so I'm sure the edit was, do you remember how long the first edit was? I bet it was like 4 hours long.
Oh man, oh man, yeah, it was long. It was
I
long.
bet.
It was long. So we were sending it to like old professors and different people, and they're like, bro,
Yeah.
it's long. They were trying to, and you know what helped? They would give us stuff that like they liked the most. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So we were like, okay, you like this part, you like this part, you kind of were lagging on this part, so let's do more of this, a little bit more of that, like so it was just throwing stuff against the wall and remixing it and just seeing how we could
Well,
how we could make
it's
it work.
definitely,
Yeah. So
it's lean. It's telling the
yeah,
story. It's well done. I just
yeah,
really
man.
enjoyed it. Thank you for making it.
Has
Bro,
it played
that
in
means the
Mobile yet?
world, man. I'm glad it
Oh,
resonated.
sorry.
No, it hasn't played in Mobile yet. No, it hasn't
Okay.
played in Mobile yet. So hopefully this fall we'll be able to bring it back home. but we're doing the festival run now, so we got like one or two
Yeah,
more festivals we're
man.
waiting to hear back from. But I'm glad that we got the premiere in Alabama. Like the
Yeah.
first time it's ever gonna
Sure.
be played is gonna be at Sidewalk Film Festival. Man, they've been showing so
It's
much
gonna
love,
go
like you
over.
said.
You have no. I know why now it's playing 3 times.
Yeah,
Because this
yeah.
is gonna go over like crazy. Man,
Man, I hope so.
it's great. You need to play it at
That
Davidson,
that
right?
is
I mean,
love.
at the high school. I'd
Yeah,
love to see. I'd
I
like to
think
be
they
in that
will.
room.
Yeah, I think I think they will. When we got their jerseys retired, I met the new principal there, and they got like a new coaching staff and things like that. So they're just excited to have the guys come back and be involved with the school and stuff like that. So I'm sure they'll want us to do a screening or two. So I'm definitely open to it all. Yeah.
Well, it's so good.
Thanks again
Hmm.
for joining. I was just going to remind
Of
folks that
course.
it's the opening night, August 24th at 8 and 8:30 at the Sidewalk Cinema. So it's on that first night, and then it replays on Saturday morning at First Church. So get a ticket now or get a pass so that you can be there in the audience because it's going to be wild.
Yeah.
I mean, the
It's
emotions will be running, and it's going to
Yeah.
be packed. It's going to be great.
well, congratulations, man. It's well made. We're gonna come find you and say hi to you in person.
Awesome, man. I can't wait, man. Thank you so much
All
for
right.
just allowing me to come on, man. It was a
You're,
pleasure.
it's our pleasure. I got a
All
million
right.
more questions. We could probably talk for another 2 hours.
Oh yeah. Let's do it. Let's do it at the festival. I'm
I
ready.
like it. I
All
like it. All right, man. We'll see you in a
Cool.
couple of weeks.
All right. Great meeting you guys. I can't
You
wait.
too.